I now recognize Ms. Lesko from Arizona for 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for being here. I think I heard you say earlier today that the safety measures in the Chinese labs are the same as in the U.S. Did you say that or something similar to that?
I said they follow the same biosafety levels for coronavirus research as we do here in the U.S., yes.
And so you said that WIV followed the same U.S. standards, or U.S. standards.
The mandated rules in China are the same as in the U.S. I have the paperwork here.
So help me understand, because I've been told that WIV is a biological safety level 2, and U.S. labs are required to be biological safety level 3 for the type of research that was done. So how is it that you say they're the same?
Well, because that's, with all due respect, that's not correct. The biosafety levels are in the Biosafety Microbiological and Biomedical Laboratory Manual 6th edition for the US, and they mandate that for bat SARS-related coronaviruses, on page 452 it states that they're for BSL-2 in culture, BSL-2 or 3 for in vivo work in mice. So those are the same standards that are used in China. They're the same standards that are published. They're the same standards that I'm being repeatedly asked questions about and being attacked over. Yet here they are in black and white in the manuals that describe the work that should be done in the U.S.
Good. I'll look at it closer. The other thing I think you said earlier is that you still don't know that there is a Chinese military presence or collaboration with the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Is that what you said?
No, what I said was that I have no knowledge of any military activity in the Wuhan lab, and that is correct.
And how do you know that? Because the State Department, this is what the State Department said, the U.S. State Department said in 2021, a fact sheet. It says, secrecy and non-disclosure are standard practice for Beijing. For many years, the United States has publicly raised concerns about Chinese past biological weapons work, which Beijing has neither documented nor demonstrably eliminated, despite its clear obligations under the Biological Weapons Convention. Despite the WIV presenting itself as a civilian institution, the United States has determined that the WIV has collaborated on publications and secret projects with the Chinese military. And this was in 2021, so you just deny what the State Department says, that this is not happening?
Something doesn't add up. I completely agree, because it's the same State Department that reviews our proposals to NIH and allows us to work with that lab. If the State Department considers that to be a military lab, surely they would have said, no, the WIV is not appropriate for doing this research. However, they reviewed it and said, yes, it's appropriate and allowed. Now, I don't have access to what the State Department reviews and knows, but something doesn't add up there, because it's them that gave us the go-ahead to work with WIV. If they'd have said, no, this is not appropriate, we would have not done so, obviously.
I'm going to ask you a question similar to what the Congresswoman from Hawaii asked. And, you know, you got a lot of money. EcoHealth Alliance got a lot of money from grants from the U.S. government, from the taxpayers. And I'm trying to understand if you went there, if anybody from your company went to the Wuhan Institute of Virology to actually inspect what was going on, because you keep saying, no, there was no gain of function research. I think my colleague right here, Mrs. Meliantakis, asked that, and you said, no, didn't happen. How do you know that if you didn't go there?
Well, what I said is that the research we did is not gain of function. That is correct. Our staff visited Wuhan repeatedly during the period we were working with them. We're not working with them anymore. I visited them repeatedly. We had online meetings, calls, Zoom calls, exchanged megabytes of information on a weekly, monthly basis of raw data and reports and sequences. It's a very active collaboration. And after 15 plus years, 20 years of doing that, you get to know how reliable and accurate their data are and the working standards that they use. So you do get a good knowledge of whether that lab is adequately protected or not, and it is, and it was. And I don't have access to any information from the state.
You know, I'm hoping someday that we are going to get to the bottom of the truth of this. I don't know that we ever are, because I'm hearing totally opposite information from reliable sources than possibly you have said. And so we have two competing theories, and we can't get to the bottom of it. It's very frustrating. I hope you understand that.
I hope you
For
trust
me,
the scientists.
the thing is, we've had scientists on both sides
Okay.
that say totally opposite of what you're saying. And
Well,
so we've had testimony over and over. My time is up, but I hope you understand that the American people just want to get to the bottom of this, and so do I, because I don't want this to happen again.
And so do we, and that
Thank
is
you.
why we do our work every day in some very difficult places.